Hey everyone, my name is Rikman and today we're going to be talking about the Undertale / Deltarune newsletter, Summer 2024. This was released this morning by Toby Fox via email, and it states, "Hi everyone, Deltarune Chapter 4 is making great overall progress. As the time of writing this, 7/23/24, all the maps are done, all battles are playable, only 2 cutscenes need small improvements, 1 battle needs to be balanced and the visuals needs to be completed, 1 battle needs a better background, 2 battles are having their ending sequences improved, there's still some things to fix and places to polish. 3 of my friends were able to play through the entirety of the unfinished Chapter 4. All of them liked it and didn't have major criticisms. Phew. Except for one friend who kept mentioning that I should name all of the chairs because of the existence of Chariel implies that all the other chairs should have names as well. Well, I'm probably not going to do that. I'm not sure if Chapter 2 is still the longest chapter, but Chapter 3 and 4 together are definitely longer than Chapter 1 and 2 combined. Thinking about that is kinda crazy. Initial development of Chapter 5 is also progressing steadily. Most of the team is still focusing on Chapter 4, but a few people are going ahead and creating an initial draft of Chapter 5's maps, working on bullet patterns, etc. And you can see Papyrus and Sans and swimming outfits, so what? And then we see Susie, Chris, Noelle, and Birdley at a campfire eating birdseed. As we continue, Chapter 4 is basically playable minus some polish, so it must seem like Chapter 3 and 4 are going to come out really soon, right? Actually, the release is still far away. We've gone 3 months closer, but it's still far. Why? How does that horrible, despair-inducing, teeth-gnashing fact that keeps me up at night makes any sense at all? I want them out now! Well, I'll tell you. What's left before release? That's right, creating the chapters is only the first step. Releasing the chapters is a whole other ordeal. It wouldn't be such a big deal if the game was free. But since this is going to be our first big paid release since Undertale, we really have to take the extra time to make sure it's perfect. Our goal is simultaneous console and PC release in both English and Japanese. So, what do we have to do? Well, it's long, so click below if you're curious. So here's a link for quest to release Chapter 3 and 4. And here are the closing thoughts. Thank you guys so much for your patience. I am monumentally thankful to everyone still waiting while we get over this final hill before the release of Chapter 3 and 4. With the progress on Chapter 5, I'm feeling confident that once Chapter 3 and 4 come out, the release schedule for the following chapters will be a lot smoother. It's still going to take a good while to get there, but once we do, you'll never have to wait so long for a chapter ever again. By the way, one more unrelated thing. Dead Man's Chest. It's hololive again. This time, Camellia and I created a song for the legendary pirate Hoso Marine. It's got an amazing music video, so check it out. Marine's desire was for us to create a boss song about her, a serious, intense song that doesn't pull any gags at all. As a song reference for this, they sent me Megalovania. Anyway, I tried my best to make something cool. Marine's basic concept for the story was about her fighting with a ghost version of herself. Camellia and I actually ended up fleshing out this story concept while writing the song, and it ended up being used as a basis for the video. Some of my creative highlights include, there is a moment where the 2 Marines' faces become close in the middle of the battle, Ghost Marine special attacks, and the plot twist. Alright, now it's time to set sail. I'll try to give another update in September. And that was all for the newsletter. And as we can see here, Spanton being grilled at the stake. And if you click the link about quests to release Chapter 3 and 4, it says here, Quest 1, Guinea Pig Syndrome. That's right. The first quest we have to clear regardless of any way that we want to release anything. We have to be the guinea pig for a brand new function of Game Maker. Yes, Yo-Yo Games, the creators of our engine, Game Maker, are adding a special new function to it just for us. This is a new command for Game Maker called Game Change. It allows you to separately launch different games you have created in Game Maker and even works on console. That means we can create each chapter as an independent game project and swap between them using this function. for Chapter 1 and 2 demo, we initially committed the strange act of smashing both chapters together into one game project. It wasn't such an issue with only 2 chapters, but as the game progresses, doing something like that will become more and more troublesome. Here's the kind of trouble that could arise if we didn't have game change. Point 1. When editing the combined project, we wouldn't know if anything during the process might have inadvertently affected anything at any point in the game. So, each time we patched any chapter, we would have to test all the chapters over again. Point 2. GameMaker would potentially be slow to run the game with content on the scale of 3 chapters or more. Point 3. On the player's side, initial loading of the game will potentially take longer and longer as we add more chapters. Anyway, the point is, with this command, we have a solution to all those issues, with one caveat. This new function is, well, brand new, and has never been tested broadly on many computers and platforms before. Therefore, we would soon like to ask for your help testing it. It's estimated GameMaker will be updated with the new command within the next few weeks. At that time, we will put out a version of Chapter 1 and 2 that uses it, along with some more detailed instructions about testing. For future updates on this topic, just keep your eyes on the official Twitter at Undertale Twitter. In the case you don't have a Twitter account, I'm happy for you. Quest 2. Make the console versions. Since our goal is a simultaneous console and PC release, we will have to make console versions of Chapter 3 and 4. It's no problem to get the game running on console at this point, but making sure that there's no differences or bugs between the console and PC version will have to take a bit of time. Each console manufacturer also has their own special rules and standards, so we will also have to update the game to reflect those things appropriately. We will begin focusing on this as the PC version is reaching completion. Quest 3. Legend of Localization. As I mentioned, we are aiming for a simultaneous English and Japanese release. After all, it would be pretty strange if only the first 2 chapters had Japanese and then the 3rd and 4th ones didn't. At this point, getting the Japanese script in the game is trivial, but the location and timing of Japanese text always need many small adjustments to make it just as good as the English version. Plus, there's always some lines we forget to hand over for translation. Chapter 3's localization is already amazing. Now that I can read all the Japanese, I've been able to personally review every single line. Oftentimes, the phrasing in the English is very vague, so I try to clarify everything I can for the translation team. I know localization isn't something that interests most people that much, but I'm really proud. Original creators are very rarely involved in the translation process of their works this closely. Reading the Japanese and English versions side by side could be a very great way to study. Although rules card might make you stupider, and we can see here the translations between English and the Japanese versions. And it continues. Anyway, the localization of Chapter 4 will need to be completed before the chapter's release. By the time you read this, I hope that we have already started. I think the characters will be easier to localize than Chapters 2 or 3, so hopefully it will be smooth. Quest 4. Bug hunting. Releasing a game properly means trying to hunt on every major bug you can find. Fortunately, we have a dedicated company that will test our game and help. A group of professionals who play the game communicatively hundreds of times in both English and Japanese, and on every console. Of course, we can't do this until everything else is finished. After all, any chance to a project could inadvertently cause an issue. Example, making changes for console could make bugs on PC, making changes for Japanese could make bugs for English, etc. So this will be one of the final steps. Quest 5 even more. And there's a few more things to think about too. Point 1. Get the game reviewed by the ratings boards, that means ESRB, PEGI, Zero, etc. Point 2. Complete the soundtrack and get it ready for release. Point 3. Make the trailer and release materials. Point 4. And more? Putting it together. So, those are the main steps to getting chapters 3 and 4 ready for release. The order looks kind of like this. Testing new function, soon, complete untested chapter 4 English PC version, console ports, Japanese version and other stuff, bug testing, release. We'll let you know the process of each of these things going forward. That's it for this page. So yeah, we finally got a huge update on chapter 3 and 4. It looks like progress is going very smooth, especially with chapter 4 being finished. Well, yeah, being sort of finished now. And now they're already working with chapter 5. So yeah, it's a bit interesting actually to finally get some updates, you know? I mean, yeah, of course we're still a couple of months away, figures, but if I were to make a prediction, I think we might get some release this year that chapter 3 and 4 might be released either during Undertale's and Deltarune's anniversary, during September, or somewhere around October, November. Because I do think that we will get chapter 3 and 4 release dates this year, and I think the game will be released today. Well, not today, this year. Otherwise, I mean, there's not that much I can say really, to be honest, since, you know, we haven't gotten that much after chapter 2 that's been released since 2021 or 2022, I believe. So yeah, it's finally good to see that we, you know, get to have more updates about chapter 3 and 4. And yeah, well, that's just mostly it for today. I thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye. Also, before I end the video, if you guys want to see me cover more of these newsletters and updates, leave a like, share this video, and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys next time. So yeah, we finally got a huge update